Hi everyone, this is Xlights. First of all, thank you very much for watching this video and for subscribing to my channel. So in this video, what I want to talk about is about using DMX devices in your Christmas show. I got a few requests from some subscribers about how to do this. I talk a little in some other videos, but not fully, right? So in this video, that's what I want to talk about. Now, the Pixels controllers that we normally use, like maybe the Falcon controller or the Colt controller, they have a dedicated port for DMX, which is in this case is this one over here. So now you will have a cable from here to your first DMX device, right? But I want to show you a better way of doing this, and I think you're gonna like it. So we're gonna be using a PixeltoDMX device. This device, I'll put a link where you can buy it, has a pixel port, a X-Connect pigtail, and the other side it has the connector for a DMX devices. So the great thing about this is that you can convert any of your ports, regardless of the brand of your Pixel controller, any of your ports, Pixel ports, into a DMX. Which means that now I can plug this device into any of these ports and I can use it for DMX, right? So as an example, I have a pigtail here that has a pigtail. So now I'm gonna connect this to this little device. And now I can connect this device to the controller. Just like this. So I'm gonna plug it in port number 1. And now I can control DMX devices from this port. What's even better is that I don't need to plug it to one of the ports. I can plug it at the end of any of your pixel strings, which means that if you have, let's say a mega tree and you have a star on the top, you can plug this device at the end of your star, and then you can add a DMX device. I mean, such as like a moving head or a power light or any other device, right? So in this video, I'm going to show you how to configure this device and how to control, in this case, a couple of DMX power lights, okay? So if you're interested in knowing how to do this, please stay with me. Okay, so let me show you this diagram before we even start doing anything. So this is what I'm going to show you. First of all, let me start by saying that this only works on 12 volt pixel ports, right? If you're using 5 volt, then you are out of luck. Only works with 12 volts. So I am going to show you how to connect this PixeltoDMX using one of the ports. And also, if we have some pixels in between, which means that you can have some candy canes, some snowflakes, whatever, and then you're gonna plug this to the end of the string and then use it to control some DMX lights. Okay, so this is the setup that I have. I have the Pixel controller over here, the Falcon F16 before, and on port number 1 I have the PixeltoDMX bridge connected to my first light, and then I have a cable. I think this is 20 feet long, and I have the second light over here. So it's a pretty simple setup. So controller, the bridge, and the 2 lights. Now, right now, the first light is showing DMX channel 512. This is wrong, so I'm gonna have to put it on channel number 1, and I will explain how this channel works. But basically, this device uses 7 channels. So since this is the first in the string, this is gonna be DMX channel 1, and then this uses 7 channels. So the next one should start on channel number 8. So let's change that. 7, 8, okay? So this one is channel number 1, then uses 1 through 7, and this is going to be using 8 through 14. Okay, and again I will explain how that those channels work and what they do. Okay, so pretty simple setup. Okay, so now I guess we can move into Xlights and start doing some configuration. Okay, so we are in Xlights, and before we start doing anything in Xlights, I want to talk a little bit about these power lights. So these power lights use 7 channels. What are these 7 channels? Think of a channel of a function that you can do with this device. Let me show you. These are the instructions that came with these lights. And as you can see, it tells us that we have 7 channels. Channel number 1 is the color brightness, and this change should use together with channel 2, 3, and 4. I think instead of change, should say channel, right? So channel number 2 is a red, channel number 3 is green, channel number 4 is blue. So this changes the brightness as I use channel 2, 3, and 4. Channel number 5 controls strobe light. Channel 6 does some other stuff, and channel 7 some other stuff. So now we have 2 power lights. The first one uses 7 and the other one uses 7. So we're using a total of 14 channels out of the 512 that DMX can use in one string. Okay, so we can still connect as many devices in that string without as long as we don't go over 512 channels. Right now I'm only using 8, so well, not 8, I'm using 14, so we're good. All right, so we're going to play around with channel 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 5. Okay, so this is what you should know when you get a DMX device. Some of them will come with 10, 12, 15. You know, the more complex, the more channels, the more control you can have. If you have um, a moving head, chances one of the channels will move left and right, another one up and down, and some of them will have lights and colors and all that. Okay, so in this case, just 7. All right. So I have Xlights. I have one controller. I have my Falcon controller connected to it. No fancy things. 16 ports. That's what I have right now. If I click on open, I just want to show the setup that I have on my controller. I have, if I go into my output setting in pixels, I have nothing. It's a clean setup, no pixels, no nothing. Okay. So let me go back to Xlight, and let's start by adding the PixeltoDMX bridge. That's how I like to call it. It's a bridge between Pixels and DMX. So I'm going to go back to Xlights, and now I'm going to go to my layout. And the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go into this DMX icon, create a DMX entry. I'm going to click on it and then select General. And I'm going to drag and drop this device. I'm going to rename this to be a Pixel to DMX bridge. So here we have, and it's going to control 512 channels. Okay, so make sure that we got a new name, we got the channels, and we're going to click save. So now this device knows that it can control up to 512 channels. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to click again on DMX, but now I'm going to select a floodlight, and I'm going to put one here. I'm going to select it, do a control copy and control V. I'm going to have 2 of them, right? So I have a DMX floodlight 1 and 2. Okay, now what I'm going to do now is, since this one is going to be behind the bridge, I need to tell it that it's behind the bridge, right? It's not going to go in any pixel port. It's going behind the bridge. So I'm going to select it. And first of all, we know that it uses 7 channels. So 7 channels it is. And then on the controller, I'm going to select use start channel. and then I'm going to click, I'm going to open this a little bit more, and then on the start channel, I'm going to select, and it says that it starts at the end of the model bridge. Okay, so now he knows that it starts, that is sitting behind a bridge, right? It starts after, at the end of the bridge, okay? And it starts on channel 1. This is channel 1 out of the 512. So this is already set, and I'm going to do the same with the other one. But this one, again, is 7 channels. This is user start channel. And this one is going to be, again, at the end of my bridge. But this one starts at channel 8. Okay, so you get what I'm doing, right? So the first one is channel number 1, and it uses 7 channels, channel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the next one starts at channel 8. Okay, so that's why I have one sitting on channel 1 and channel 8. Don't get confused with the channels on the Pixel side. This is DMX channels. Okay, so now they know they're setting on where they're standing on that DMX line, right? And that's why in the previous video I show you why you set the first one to DMX1 and the second one to DMX8. So this one is DMX1 and the other one is DMX8. Okay, so now I'm gonna save all these settings. I'm gonna go into my controllers and I'm gonna use the visualizer. I'm gonna click visualize, and now I see my DMX, my bridge, DMX floodlight 1 and 2. So I'm gonna move the bridge. I'm gonna plug it directly to port number 1. There's nothing, okay? And that's it. I'm not doing anything else. I'm not moving this behind because I don't need to move them because they're already connected to the back or to the DMX bridge. So leave this alone. Don't move him into here. Don't move him over to here because then it's going to think that it's a pixel that is connected after that. And these are not pixels. These are DMX. So don't do anything else. This is all we have to do at this point. So now I'm going to close this and I'm going to upload to my controller. I'm going to click upload. I have a small window showing. And now if I click open, and I go to my pixels, now I have the Pixel2DMX bridge sitting on port number 1, okay? And it ends at channel 513 because it starts on 1. It doesn't start on 0. So far so good. That's all the setup that we need to do. We're all ready to test. It's this simple, okay? So let's go into Xlights and let's create I'm going to save it. Let's create a simple sequence. So new sequence. So now what I'm going to do, create new sequence. It's going to be animation, 20 frames per second, and done. So I have my bridge and line number 1 and line number 2. I'm going to put them in order. So I'm going to move the bridge up, and now this one up. So now I have the bridge 1 and 2. Bridge 1 and 2. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the DMX effect, and I'm going to put it in here, and I'm going to extend it. I'm going to move these channels. If you see, we have 7 channels. There's the 7 channels that we defined the first time when we create that first element. And I'm going to do the same for the second floodlight. So where are DMX? Right here. DMX. I'm going to move it all the way here. Something like that. So now let's give it a try. Okay, so I'm going to select the first one. Everything is off. And this one, everything is off. So I'm going to output to lights, which means that now we send in the data to the pixel ports, which now is going to go into the DMX. And now I'm going to output to lights.
And the first one, it says that it was, where is it? Right here. The first one, it says that it was the brightness. So I'm going to put it halfway, like right here. And then if we're lucky enough, the first one is red. Let's see if we got a red light on the first floodlight. Oh, it worked. We have red. Now the next one is green, and the next one is blue. Okay, now can we make it flash? Let's put it on red, and then I think it was 5, it was flashing. There we go, it's flashing now. See how easy it is? So now let's try the same thing, but now with the second floodlight. So I'm gonna put it, I'm gonna remove this, I'm gonna read it, leave it on red, and I'm gonna go to the second one, and I'm gonna do the same, but I'm gonna put it in green. There we go. So now we are actually, wow, this thing is really bright. So now we are controlling two devices from that bridge using DMX. This is so easy, right? Now let me show you one more thing. So let me shut down this one, and let's leave the red one on. Now, so how would you do a sequence for this type of light? So it's very easy. So this is number one. I'm gonna shut it down for now. I'm gonna select this and do a control copy, control V, which is paste. Oh no, I'm gonna click in here, and then control V, and then control V again. So I have now 3DMX effects, right? So what I'm gonna do is the first one is already red. The second one, I'm gonna make it green. And the third one, I'm gonna make it blue, right? So let's output these two lights. So now this is red, this is green, and this is blue. So now if I play the sequence, what do you think is gonna happen? So now it's playing. Let's play it. So it's red. Now it's gonna change to blue, green, and then blue. Okay? And that's it. We are controlling DMX lights. Now you need to come up with your own sequence, right? Because, well, if you are going to use them throughout the song, now you need to play around with the colors and effects and things that you can do. So if I go into this one, I'll put two lights. So if let's say, what happens if I select this one? Oh, so now it's changing colors. This is channel number 6. So what is channel number 6 doing? Channel number 6 is color shade, and I have color pulse, transform, and so on. So this is the range of the number that you need to put on the value in here on top of the channel, right? Here's the value. So you can change it and it will start doing some other stuff. All right. Okay, guys. So now let's add an element a few pixels before the bridge. Okay, so let's imagine, well, I have a star that goes on top of my tree, so I'm going to put that star, and I'm going to add the bridge after the star, and I'm going to put these two lights. So let's go into the layout, and here we have so we have the bridge and the two lights, and let's bring in an element. I'm gonna put it right here for now. I'm gonna go into Boscoyo, stars. I have the 36-inch 3 ring, insert model. So now let's imagine that this was gonna go here. I have the star, the bridge, and then two lights. Okay, so I'm gonna go into my controller. I'm gonna click on the visualizer, and I'm gonna remove the bridge, and now I'm gonna insert the star, which has 150 pixels, and then the bridge. Okay, So it's the star and then the bridge. Again, we do nothing with these two devices. So I'm going to close it, and now I'm going to upload output. Okay, let's take a look at the controller. And now on the controller, I have a star with a count of 963. You don't see the bridge in here because it's part of a set of channels, okay? But it says that we have 963. So let's do some math. If we know that we have 150 pixels and each pixels uses 3 channels, that means that we have 450. If we add the 512 from the DMX, we should have 962. So ends on channel 963 because it starts on channel 1. So that's the math behind this number. We have 150 pixels before, and then we have another set of channels behind that star. Okay.
So I'm using this star, and at the end of the string, I have connected the pixel to DMX bridge, and now I'm gonna connect the DMX lights to this connector. So I have this star before the DMX lights. So let's give it a try.
So I have added to the video, to the camera, part of my star, so you can see everything in action. So now that we have everything set up, that we have uploaded to the to the controller, now we can go into the sequence, and we had already a couple of the floodlights. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna insert the star. And in here, we don't have to do anything, right? I mean, this is just a sequence. It doesn't matter where we have it. So I'm gonna add a butterfly effect to the sequence. So we should see this on the star, plus controlling the floodlights. So let's output to lights, and there we have is playing, and the floodlights are also playing. Okay, so if I click in here, that's the red, that's the green, okay, and that's the blue, and this one is playing another sequence which is just one color. Okay, so everything is working properly. Let me shut down this one. Let me turn it off. I'm gonna delete all this sequence from here. I'm gonna just leave it like that. I can play just playing this one as well. Let me shut it down. There we go. So now it's just the star which is playing. I can turn this on again with one color, and there we go. It's working. Alright guys, well, this is all I want to show you on this video. Now you know how to control and how to add DMX lights to your show. So again, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.